Hello, hello. I'm just checking my mic here. Yep, I am audible. Hopefully it's gonna be a long one here, folks. Yeah. I'm pretty much just gonna keep flying. I don't really have a plan in mind for tonight. I'm just gonna switch this thing on and I'm just gonna fly. That's all I know. That is all I know. So I'll give it a couple of minutes for everything to load up and everything. Once that's done, I shall see you in just a little bit. So hang on tight. We'll be on the ground. We're going to start off at Meigs Field in Chicago. That's how you say it. What is it called? Yeah, Chicago Meigs Airport. Apparently that's what you say. I don't know if that's how you pronounce the name, but Chicago Meigs Airport is where we're starting off. I think this airport is closed now, isn't it? It might be closed now. But that is where we're starting off today, and we're going to make our way on to Chicago O'Hare. From there, we're just going to fly on towards wherever the heck I feel like flying to, or anybody suggests something. Just gonna keep flying pretty much, and yeah, we're gonna see how this goes. Anyway, I shall join you in a minute if anybody's there. Alrighty. Welcome everybody to today's stream. Welcome. We in now? Yes, sir. Welcome to Chicago Meigs Airport, where we're going to be beginning today's live stream. I'm just going to keep this flying. I'm going to try and fly as short of flights as possible. I'm going to keep the flights really short so that we have plenty of landings to keep the stream exciting. I'm only gonna fly a long route when I'm about to catch a little bit of shut-eye. I don't know how long I'm planning to stream today. Let's see how long this goes, but at least a couple of hours today. So it's not exactly gonna be a short stream at all. Anyhow, let me get the party started here. To do that, I'm just gonna jump in here. Okay, let's see if I can remember how to get this thing started up. It's a beautiful aircraft today. Before we actually jump in here, let's have a quick look at our lovely aircraft here. This is the V35, the Bonanza, that I fly quite a bit on the channel. It's one of my favorite GA aircraft here in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. And as you can tell, it is fantastic. And the way it looks, modeling is really good. Yes, it is, sir. Look at that. Oof, the level of detail on that. That is crazy stuff. That is good. That is very good. Let me pop up the chats here in case anybody tunes in. That's some good stuff, huh? That is some good stuff. Yes, sir. All right, that's enough of that. Let's just jump back in here. Here we are. Let's get ourselves started up. To do that, I'm going to get rid of that quickly. Make sure all the controls are working. Apparently not. Okay, that kind of sucks. Yeah, I don't really have any views set for this one. Makes sense. It's pretty much just a GA aircraft, you know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right, let's get this party started. To do that, let's first turn on our batteries there. Nav lights on, please. Fuel pumps on. Avionics, why not? Pitot heats or battery alternator. Let's put that out there. Fuel selector to left main, that's correct. Gonna put the propeller in, mixture in, throttle slightly on there. There we go. Got good startup right there. Beacon lights on, taxi lights on, flaps down to approach. All right. That sounds good to me. That is sounding good to me. Let's check our fuel quantities here. We got half tank here, half tank there. That's plenty for today. That is plenty for today, and we can get on out of here, ladies and gentlemen. We can get on out of here. Should I sit up like this, perhaps? Or should I just leave it like this? I feel like I need to sit up, but just a bit. Know what I mean? So perhaps I will sit up like this, maybe? I don't know. Maybe I'll just make that what I need. Okay. Perfect. We are ready for takeoff, pretty much. Alright, so if we go outside here, we can take a quick look. Looking good. Which runway are we taking off from? You know what? Let me go to the right, yeah? Alright, parking brake released. And we are rolling. Open up those throttles there. RPM to max. Fuel mixture rich. Good. Good. Chicago looking good. Let me have a look at the weather. Make sure we're flying all live. Yes, we are. We're having so much drift. I really should work on that sensitivity there. Anyway. Landing lights on, taxi lights off. Is that taxi light? Strobe lights on. There you go. Alright, we're pretty much ready to roll here. Let's go for takeoff. Alright, that's looking good. I hate how sensitive the rudder controls are. I keep talking about how I need to change this. I still haven't done that. Anyway. We have takeoff and positive rate. Put that gear up. Gonna put that flap up. It's a very nice little airfield, Meigs Airport, Chicago. I don't know if that's how you say it, but yeah. Okay, here we go. We're flying over Chicago at the moment. Let me turn off a bit to this side so we can see the city a little better. Why is everything loading in so terribly? I have dynamic settings off, by the way. And yet everything is loading in so terribly here in 2024. The usual. Maybe I should have done this with X-Plane instead of 2024. Anyway, flying over Chicago. And I have no idea where Chicago O'Hare International is. I know it's off to our left. Maybe we can go find it. Let's cut down on the throttle there a little bit. Okay, trim the aircraft out, maybe just a little bit there. And I want to turn this thing off. Put this back a little bit. Just maybe a little bit back on the mixture. A little bit back on the throttle there. There we go. We good. Let's find ourselves flying towards Chicago O'Hare, if I can find it. Ooh, down we go. I have no idea where it is. Not too worried though, eventually we'll come to an airport. We're gonna put it down there. That's the whole point of today's flying. We're just gonna fly for pretty much ever. Okay. Yeah. Oh, there's an aircraft there. Flying straight into the ground for some reason. Anyhow. I believe that's Chicago O'Hare ahead of us. Yes, it is. We're gonna find ourselves a runway in there. Probably gonna land in it. Where is O'Hare? Let's see how far we can reach in this stream today. So Chicago is our starting point. Let's see where we end up. I'm gonna configure myself a landing here, because I think I have my eyes on a couple of runways there. So let's go ahead and get ourselves ready for landing. Shall we do that? To do that, we need to bring up our RPM, turn that back on, cut back on our throttle there, fuel mixture to rich. Let's do that. There we go. Can drop our gear. Drop our flaps. We're pretty much ready for landing, just like that. There we go. We'll give ourselves about 50% on the throttle. And here we go. Coming into land, Chicago O'Hare. Do we want a landing replay for this one? Gonna let go of the controls there for a second. Start sky dolly. We're crashing. Yes, we are. Not for long. Got it. There we go. We got sky dolly running. Hopefully landing replay will be available to us. I don't know what the issue with LOD is in Microsoft Flight Sim, but it's not good. It's been a while since I've flown this plane, but I still remember everything, pretty much. That's cool. Next, which aircraft shall I hop on into? If anybody is in the chat, let me know which aircraft you want to see me fly next after we make this landing. If nobody chimes in, then I'm just gonna pick one for myself. Shall pick one myself. Which runway shall I land at? Left or right? Okay, I'll go left. Got a little bit of a crosswind there. Look at us. Just floating around real nice. Let me input that rudder there to correct that little bit of a float. Oh, and there's somebody coming in to take off on that runway. But I don't care. Je ne care pas. Oh God, why do you gotta do this now, man? Oh, you're just crossing the runway. That's okay. Look at that crosswind. He just whoa, what is this guy doing? Did he just turn around and come back into the runway? What the hell? Mate, you gotta decide something over here, you know? Can't just do that. Come on. I need to land. Alright. Let's just land this thing. Applying rudder. You know what, I'm just gonna overshoot this guy. I'm gonna overshoot this guy on our landing. So we're gonna land long here. There's a goddamn jet on the runway. There we go. These rudder controls are so damn sensitive. But welcome to Chicago O'Hare. Okay. There we go. We turn that off. Put that back up. Ta-da! Okay, I'm just gonna stop it right off the taxiway here. I want to get myself a landing replay. Let's get her in there. Let's get that in there. Okay. Just want to see this guy take off if there's anybody. Oh, there's nobody. Okay. Put the parking brake there. Weird way to park an aircraft here, but that's what we're gonna do. Oh, and good lord, he's coming our way. Oh, look at that. We barely missed it. That is an Embraer. Okay, that's cool. Whatever, man. Whatever. All right. Let's go ahead and take a look at that landing replay if there is one. Hopefully Skyrolly captured that. I think it did. So let's have a look at it. Yep, it did. Yes, there is one, thank God. Let's see how we did. Let's take a look at it. Let's take a look at it. We went floaty because of the jet on the runway, just for your information. Okay, let's see how it went. Landing replay number 1. Alrighty, that isn't the worst landing I've ever seen in my life, so I shall take it. I shall take it. Let's take a look at it from another view. What other view can I use here? Oh, come on. Yeah, there we go. That's a good view. Let's take a look at that landing replay. Alright, very nice. Very, very nice. Nice. Alright. Okay. What else am I doing here today? Since there's nobody in the chat and no one has picked an aircraft, I guess I'm just gonna go ahead and pick an aircraft for myself now. Out of Chicago O'Hare, let's fly. Where can we go? Let me have a look. Let me play a few more landing replays here though. Probably this one. While that landing replay is playing, I'm gonna play it a little far out so I can kind of think here where to go and which aircraft to utilize here at Chicago O'Hare. Okay. It's gonna leave it like that. From O'Hare we could go to Boston. New York, Boston. Where do we want to go? Vancouver. It's a good question. All right. I think I have an idea. Okay. We're in Chicago. Let's go out into the menu now that we've finished with our landing replays, and let's see where we can go. All right. So we're going to end this flight. End this flight and let's see what we can do. Oh, look at that. You can still see the traffic that was injected. That is so cool. You can still see the FSLTL traffic that I injected still flying around in the skies. Look at that. Isn't that pretty cool? That is pretty cool, isn't it? Where did we leave our aircraft? Ah, there's our tiny little aircraft we used. It's really cool that you can see that. Really, really fun. But anyway, here we are at Chicago. Where do we go? Where do we go? Where can we go? Lambert, St. Louis. There's also a little offer here to buy that airport. By Feel There. Feel There does not usually... I don't think I like the scenery by Feel There. Detroit, Metro Wayne County. So let me have a look at that airport. That's not a bad airport to buy. It definitely doesn't seem like a bad airport to buy. Detroit, Metro Wayne County. What is here? See a lot of deltas here. See a lot of deltas. Perhaps we could take one of the deltas out from Detroit Wayne towards New York, perhaps, huh? Yeah, we could do that. We could do that. It is in my wish list too. Oh. Toronto, Ottawa, Boston, Logan. I think I'm just going to end up buying a bunch of airports today for no reason. Halifax, Stanfield. Okay, you know what? I have an idea. Let's firstly head on down towards Wayne County, Metro Wayne. I'm going to go in here. I think I'll have another live stream where I'll start buying airports live. But for now, let's head on down into Wayne County. And to do that, we'll use the A320. Yeah, let's use the A320. What A320 do I have? I have this one. Does it have any Delta livery? I doubt it. Really doubt there's any Delta livery in here. Yeah, there isn't. There isn't. Okay, you know what we'll do? We'll just go with the house livery. And I'm going to find myself into Detroit, Metro Wayne County from Chicago. Yeah, let's do that. So we've got custom arrival. Chicago here, KORD, and we're going to take off from a small little gate. So we're going to say this one set as departure. Arrival is going to be, come on, there it is. That is our arrival. Very good. Let's go to EFB. Sim brief. Let's make a new flight plan, shall we? Let's make a new flight plan. Depart, KORD. Land in, what is that thing called again? KDTW. KDTW. That's good. Aircraft is going to be an A320neo. There we go. Gonna fly using, come on, any builds, there we go. We're gonna fly in kilograms today because it's an Airbus. Okay, that sounds good. Sounds good to me. Let me have a look at this. A Rainer, whatever. Okay, that all sounds 22L, 22R. Let's generate it. Let me have a look at little nav map if that works for us or not, because obviously I'm not using Navigraph, so I don't have the latest and greatest of stuff. Nonetheless, let me go ahead, open that flight plan from SimBrief. Okay, create flight plan. No need for that, sir. Perfect. That works. That works for us. That's great. That's great. Okay, and we're gonna just fly out directly, I guess. Yep, direct to Rainer. And we're gonna head on into Metro Wayne County. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. Sounds good. Are we gonna be using any sort of arrival here into Metro Wayne? We'll look at that after we take off, all right? But for now, this is our plan. So we're supposed to take off from runway 22 left. So 22 left. That means we need to put ourselves... Where do we put ourselves? 22 left. Where is it? Where's 22 left? It's here. 22 left is here. That means we got to take off. We'll park ourselves somewhere right here. Okay? So we can get on out of here as quickly as possible. Yeah, I'm just going to put myself right here. We can push back like this and out we go. I don't care how realistic that is, but we're going to set as departure right there. And let's go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, just hold on while we load into this aircraft, and let me see what kind of stuff I can do here with little nav map. Okay. For our ILS approach today, I want to do an ILS approach 22 right. If we have one, which we do, we have ILS Y 22 right. And what are the frequencies here? Okay, course 213. One 1.75 frequency, and the identifier is IBZB. Right, we're all set here. We're all set here. Okay, I'll show you guys the flight plan in just a second. In just a second. Okie dokie. Ready to fly. Here we go. We are in the Inibils A320, just like that. That didn't take too long. Great. Get rid of that. Get rid of this goddamn thing, and there we go. We're ready to jump on in here. Before we do, let's take a quick look at our airport for the day and look at how messed up our traffic injection is today. UPS cargo, not looking too good there. Cargo lux, we've got okay, I don't know if that's injection on top of injection or there's some default static aircrafts that are being replaced. I have no idea what's going on, but this is Chicago O'Hare, where we just landed with a V-35B Bonanza, and it is looking good. Chicago O'Hare is looking good. Let's see how good the scenery just is before we start messing around with our aircraft and start doing stuff. Let's see how good the scenery actually is. Shall we do that? Let's do that. Gonna go in here. Nothing in here. Okay, that is pretty empty throughout. Perhaps that changes when we reach this little building here. Or what about the apron here? No, I highly doubt the buildings there are modeled. Let's go down here. Have a look in here. Okay, not modeled. Nothing here is modeled. No, sir. The interiors of this airport is not modeled. No. Okay, so we got no interior modeling. Nothing in the way of parallax effect. At least to give it a little bit of fake depth. None of that. So yeah, it's a pretty basic model. It is handcrafted though. So the exterior is pretty decent looking. I don't think I have the GSX profile installed for this aircraft either. Let's have a look at this side. Maybe this side it's a little bit more Maybe we'll run into some models here. No, nothing's modeled here either. Nothing's modeled in the interior here either, but anyway, it doesn't look too terrible for a handcrafted airport. Yeah, don't think we have any luck here. That's cool. That is cool. Let's head on back to our aircraft, shall we? Okay. Great. Chicago O'Hare, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Let's enter the aircraft. Okay, cold and dark. Let's see how we get on with this. Obviously, this is on the fly. I don't think everything's going to work perfectly, but let's see. SimBrief plan. Let's see if that works. Oh, I haven't even set up SimBrief. Oh, good Lord. Not even sure if that is my SimBrief ID. Let's try that again. Oh, there we go. It works. Yay. Let me get Elevatics going now as well. Fetch the SimBrief from there. Fetch it. There we go. We got Elevatics going. That's great. Good. Payload. Let's get that in there. Let's apply the load instantly. Close that up, please. Thank you very much. I've not used the A320. Only used the A321 by any builds. Let's see how good or bad this one is. I don't think it's too bad though. Yeah, I've got... What the hell? Yeah, the views on this one are really messed up here. Yeah, I don't have views set up. I'm so sorry. I don't think we're going to be able to fly this very easily today. Because I don't have the cabin views or any of that set up on this one. No, I don't have anything set up on this one. Should have checked into that before I jumped in here. But nonetheless, we're still going to give it a shot. We'll do the views while we're in the air. Or while after we've gotten started up. Or should I just do the views now? It's not like anyone's waiting. Yeah, let's just do the views now. Just gonna put that up a little bit, just like that. Come on, there we go. I'm gonna zoom out a little bit, not too much. That's the view I like to fly with, pretty much. There we go. I'm gonna save that view. Then we're going to go down to the tablet here. If it will let me. Oh, it does work. Good. Good. I'm going to leave it. Yeah, I can use that. Yeah. Let me just make that. Then we're going to come down here to the FMGS or FMCS or whatever the heck Airbus people call it. I don't know. It's not really like I'm a Boeing guy anyway. I don't know. We're just going to call it FMC. So let me have a view of that set up so we can use it pretty well here, hopefully. So we'll, yeah, that's a good view. Yeah, that's good enough, I suppose. Okay. Yep. Let's make that our third view there. That's brilliant. Let me put that up here. That's going to be my fourth view. For today, that is going to be my fourth view. Perfect. Okay, now, next view we're going to have is this pedestal here. I like to have a little view of the pedestal as well, just like this. That is good enough for us today. I'm trying to make the perfect view. But I'm a little bit of a perfectionist, as you guys can probably tell. I hate that sometimes. It's a pain in the butt, but, you know. It is what it is. I got OCD, man. Gotta do what I gotta do, you know. Ha. Well, I'm just gonna live with this for now. So that's gonna be amongst our views there, and it's not so bad. No, it's not. It's definitely not too terrible. Okay, so I'm gonna save that as the pedestal view there. Although ideally I would like it right in the center, which I just can't seem to get for some reason today. Last try. Last try. Come on. Oh, good lord. Okay, you know what? I'm just going to leave it. Okay, let's go to the overhead view here. Overhead, I'm going to save this one. Yeah, I'm going to save this one here for overhead view. Yeah, that's good enough for overhead, I guess. Put that there. There we go. That is great. That is great by accident. Is there anything on top? No, I don't. No, I'm not really worried about any of that. We just need this much here. And that will do. That will do, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, I'm just going to save that. Save that as our overhead there. Then we need to head ourselves into the cabin to save the rest of the views. We need one on the left hand side, one on the right hand side, and then we're pretty much ready to go. Right? Okay. We could just use this view. Let me just try something a little bit fancier. Yeah, that's better. That is better. No. Go here. Yeah, there we go. I mean, the other view was better, but we got the seat block in it, so can't really do much about it. You know what the hell. Let's just save it like this. Let us save that view right there for a landing replay, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be doing at some point, so we can save that as our view. Yep, why not? Great. And then let's head on over to the other side to save the final view for the cabin. And we can get on out of here, alright? Sorry about the delay in setting up the views here. I mean, I don't know if anybody's even watching this, but in case you are, I apologize about the delay. I'm pretty much just flying by myself and having a little bit of fun at this point. All right, let's have a look at this. Where should I keep that? Should I keep that there? Huh. Yeah, I'll keep it there. Let's go. Alrighty. View number 1, perfect. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Perfection is what I call that. Alright, great. Let's without further delay, let's get on out of here, shall we? Batteries on, external power on, emergency lights armed, nav lights on, strobe lights to automatic, passenger signs to on, crew oxygen supply on, ground control for the recorder here on. Let's have the IRS systems to nav and aligning. Brilliant. Once that is done, we're going to wait for this. We're going to press FMGS, clear that, clear that. Clear that, clear that, clear that. Let's come down here. Let's see what is in the options here. IRS align time is instant. I want it on fast. And this is one thing I hate about this aircraft. It has a click spot somewhere down here to bring down the shades. It's really annoying. Rudder controls tiller. I don't know. We'll find out. Throttle settings. Let's have a look at that. Reverse on axis. No, it's not, sir. Let's have a look at our throttle calibration here. Okay, so this is idle right now. Set idle, please. Yeah, set idle. That's great. That right there is climb, right? Yep, that right there is climb. Set climb. that right there is flex. There we go. And that right there is toga. Good. Close. Close. Come on, that's annoying. Let me have a look whether the reverse thrust actually works here. Toggling reverse. Yes, it does work. That's perfect for us, ladies and gentlemen. Good. Got everything working as it should. Alrighty, let's go down into our FMC here. Clear all of that stuff. Let's go to init. Let's request our route for today. Looking good. Let me ask GSX. Is GSX going to work for this? SimBrief is okay. Alright, let me request. I'm not going to request refueling today. It's just probably not going to work. You know what? We'll give it a shot. Why not? Let's first go towards this and set up what we need to here. The reason we do that is... let me make sure that that's correct here. Let's go to fetch the plan. Come on, where's the fuel? Fuel is supposed to be 4,736, and that is correct. Perfect. Alright, let's come down here. Let me come to takeoff. Payload is set from SimBrief. Oh, this is really annoying. This thing is really annoying me. This click spot for the thing, it's... ugh, come on. Okay, whatever. Take off, sync all of that, calculate it. We'll send it in just a bit. Now, let's see if refueling works, right? So, let's try that. Okay. Hold on a second. Where is GSX? Oh, I don't have it. I don't think I have the profile for this installed for GSX. I really don't think it's going to work. Yeah, you know what? I'm positive I don't have the profile for this installed, so there's no point. We're just going to leave everything exactly the way it is, and instant please. Thank you very much. Come here to the dashboard, maybe to the ground supply, get that going there. Just going to ask GSX to board it. I think boarding will work, right? Request boarding. United. Is that gonna work? Let me have a look. Yeah, I don't have the GSX profile for anything installed. Not that none of these are gonna work, are they? Yep, the boarding is not working, I can tell you that. At least the cargo doors are, which is cool. The boarding is not. Yeah. Not a problem. Not a problem. I'm not too worried about it. Okay, that opened. How are you gonna connect up the jetways though? You can't, can you? Okay. I'm not gonna worry about this right now. I'm just gonna go in here and do what I need to. Oh my god, look at that. Do you see that texture loading right there? Flight plan. Let's go to KORD. What do we have as today's departure? Let's have a look. Out of runway 22 left, using direct today. Not even using this one. Very well. Let's go to KDT. Wait, what is the flight plan here? Well, that's all good. KDTW arrival today is using ILS Y into 22R. ILS Y22R. What kind of arrival are we using? We're using this funny thing. Rickety 2. Let's put that in there. Any transitions today? Porzel could be a transition. Insert. Flight plan. Discontinuity because we don't have a departure set here, but we're gonna clear that up, sir. Not allowed. So we're gonna have to clear this then. Fix in. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna leave the discontinuity because I don't think there's anything else I can do. Or I can just which one did we say? Let's just select this. I'm gonna clear that. I'm gonna clear that. Oh, come on. Yeah, let's go back to flight plan. Clear this. There we go. That's more like it. Perfect. Now let me go down here. Yeah, there's another discontinuity here. I don't understand why there's a manual. Okay, vectors there. I'm gonna remove all of that. I don't want any of that. There we go. We gotta take a look at how on earth this flight plan looks like, because it might be a little messy. So let's take a look at it. There's our takeoff. That all looks good. That looks fine. Okay. Oh, that looks perfect actually. That doesn't look bad at all. Great. We are good. Let's go to nav mode on that. Let's go to... No, we'll go to 10 on that. We'll go to 40 on that. We'll go to 20 on that. That's good for takeoff. Flight plan. Come back down here. Let's see what's happening with GSX. Nothing. Great. Let's come to performance here. Spy Goofy. Howdy, mate. Howdy. How's it going? It's going well. I'm just goofing around here in the simulator, just flying forever pretty much is what the agenda for today is. Can you see my chat? Yes, I can, mate. Yes, I can. I'm sorry about the little delay in responding there. I was busy checking out my sim brief plan there. But yeah, I see you. I see you. How are you doing? How's your day going, mate? Thank you for chiming in. Thank you for chiming in. Okay. So, what else do we got here? Let's close that door up. Let's close that door up. I'm heading over from Chicago to, as you can tell, to, why is that name escaping me? We're heading on over to Detroit. Wayne County Airport. That's where we're going today. Well, for now. Let's see what happens once we reach Detroit. I might probably head on over to New York and then from there to Boston. And then from there to wherever, or I might just decide to cross the pond directly, go on over to Ireland or something. It days me pretty well. I hung out with my friend and did some shopping. Is that right? What did you shop for, mate? Let's get our performance data sent here to our FMGS from right here. So we got that send. Let's see. What can we do here? 48 degrees, 0.7 up. Okay. 48 flex temperature. 1 slash. Did I say 0.8 up? I can never remember this. 7 up. Come on. Alrighty. I bought Jean and a gift for my bestie because tomorrow is a birthday. Her birthday. Is it a birthday tomorrow? Is that right? Well, happy birthday to your bestie, man. That is nice of you to grab her a gift. Bought some jeans, huh? Man, I gotta tell you, I don't like wearing jeans. I hate them jeans. I find them very uncomfortable. But yeah, happy birthday to your bestie. 126 V1, 126 V2, 130 here on our... Oh, sorry, 130 on our V2 here. Sure, man. You're welcome. You're welcome, Mr. Spy Goofy. Confirm that. Okay, we're pretty much done here, ladies and gentlemen. Everything else we're going to do while we're in the air. Let's go back to flight plan there. Come back out here. Let's see. What is our local pressure for today? 1018. That's good. Flight directives on. Good. What is our cruising altitude for today? I have no idea what our cruising altitude is. It's supposed to be 35,000 feet. There is no way. That is too high, man. That is too high. 35,000 feet? Really? It's just a little hop from Chicago to Detroit. Should we really use 35,000? I'm gonna go 30. I'm not gonna do 35. Let's do 30. Do you play only this kind of playing games, or do you play other games too? On this channel, I only play. I only do flight simulation. So I do Microsoft Flight Simulator and X-Plane. That's what I do, man. That is what I do on this channel. I haven't really thought about playing other games and stuff. I'm not really sure. Maybe I'll start another channel for other games and other simulation stuff, perhaps. But for now, this flight simulation is my thing. Sean, how are you doing, man? How are you doing, Mr. Sean? Hello there. Thank you for tuning in today. Thank you very much for tuning in today. All right. We got all of that set up right here. We can get the APU started. I'll turn the bleed on right here. Get that going. Since we don't have GSX working pretty much, there isn't much else to do here, is there? We can just prepare for pushback and departure as soon as we're ready. So how many channels do I have? I got a couple of channels really, if I'm being honest. Most of them have nothing to do with this, but in all honesty, the rest of the channels are pretty dead. This is the only one I really use. This is the only one I really use at the moment, Mr. Spy Goofy. I am thinking of starting a little bit of other channels, but that's gonna come later on. I need this channel to pick up first. Do you stream on other platform too? Yes, I am on Kick, I am on YouTube, and I stream on Twitch. Obviously, you're watching this from Twitch, but yeah, I got 3 platforms I stream on at the same time, and I got videos on YouTube as well. Sean says there's now a hurricane in the Atlantic. Is that right? The Atlantic. Which part of the Atlantic would that be exactly? Because we might just go over and take a look at what's happening in the simulator. You know, I might just do that. So maybe I'll do a transatlantic once we finish this flight. Or the flight after that, we could hop on over the pond to Europe. See what's going on. Perhaps we can check out that hurricane. Anyway. All of that is done. We've got APU pretty much running now, right? Yes, we do. And we're ready. Near the Caribbean, that's all right. All right, in that case, yeah, we can definitely check that out. In that case, we should probably head down south rather than going off to the east towards Europe if you want to check out the hurricane. We probably have to go down towards... there's a lot of places in the Caribbean we could fly to. We could go... Yeah, there's a lot of places. We'll look into that. Yep, alright. Okay, cool. Got AP bleed running, all of that stuff. We really don't need our external power anymore. So we can disconnect it. We can get ready for pushback as well. So toggle that. Why is cargo door still open? Let's close that up. Let's go to GSX here. Let me check out your YouTube. Sure, man. Spy Goofy, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Feel free. Feel free. The hurricane. All right. Hurricane Aaron is the one you're talking about. I haven't really been paying much attention to what's been going on. Probably should, but yeah. We'll check it out, man. We'll check it out. I followed you. Thank you very much, Spy Goofy. Thank you for the follow. I see it. I see it. I appreciate it. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate your follow. Hopefully you like my other stuff on YouTube as well. The thing is, I have a lot more stuff planned. I just can't find the time to make some nice videos and upload them. But I'm pretty much there. Got all the settings sorted out. Learned how to do the settings, the editing and all of that. So let's see how that goes. Let's turn on our fuel pumps here. There we go. We can turn on our beacon lights in advance. I'm going to do that right here. Is there anything else up here that I need to work on before we get ourselves started up? Okay, which way are we going? We need to go nose to the right today, because our takeoff runway is somewhere right here, right? Yeah, it is. I think it is. I'm not too sure. Yeah, it is. I mean, obviously, this is a flight plan that I made just on the fly. No, this is not our takeoff runway for sure. It is somewhere here. That's the one. Okay. Nose to the right. Okay. You gotta remember that, ladies and gentlemen. Nose to the right. Release parking brake. We've done that. Okay. Come on. Why isn't this working? Alright, I think we're ready to start up pretty much, aren't we? Yeah, let's do that. Engine number 2 first. Okay. Yeah, I have around 500 on YouTube, trying to hit the 500 mark with this live stream. Hopefully that will happen. I'm not too sure. On Twitch, yeah, it's very difficult, man. The category that I stream, flight simming, doesn't have much going on in Twitch. in the first place. And second of all, I'm pretty new to Twitch. I'm pretty new to Twitch as well, so that's why I don't have a lot of followers on Twitch. Still exploring stuff. Let's see how it goes. All right. Head back in here. Okay, that's just spooling up right there. Okay, cool. I'll do that, man. Why doesn't that work? Turn on engine number 1 here. Everything else looking okay. I don't know why that doesn't work. Spy Goofy says, yeah, you know, I'm also thinking about starting streaming. You should, man. You really should. Don't overthink it. Just start it. That's the best thing you can do. Don't overthink it. Just start it. She's heading towards Puerto Rico. Sean says the hurricane is heading towards Puerto Rico. All right, yeah, we can fly around in Puerto Rico, see how the weather is going. We can do that. We can do that, Sean. Spy Goofy, what do you suggest? I mean, dude, do what you're passionate about. Do what you are passionate about. I'm a flight simmer. It's what I like doing. So I started off with flight simming. I'm still very new. I'm still learning the ropes of how this thing works. But I'm getting there. In the same way, just start what you're passionate about, you know. Another thing that I like doing is I have another channel which I need to make active again. You know what? I won't talk about it till it's made active again. That's going to be really cool as well. Something I'm more excited about. We'll see. But yeah, Spike, if you just pick something you really like doing and don't overthink it, start streaming and then learn things as you go. All right? You don't have to get everything perfect right from day one. Doesn't work. Which game should you go with? What do you play? What is the game that you like to play the most? Ignition 2 normal. An indie game. Alright, try it. Try it. The best part about streaming is that you can always change what you stream, right? You can always change it. It's not set in stone. You can always change. There are plenty of channels that have millions of subs and all that stuff. They started off doing something completely different. They found something that worked for them. They changed completely. There's nothing wrong with that. So you can always do that. Alright. Sean says she's still getting stronger. Sounds exciting for us, man, because I love some extreme weather flying. Okay. Let me pay a little bit of attention here. Well, nothing much to do, really. Taxi lights on there. Everything else can remain on. I'm going to put that up there as well. Since engines are running, we don't need APU bleed. No, do we need APU? FPS and shooting games. Spy Goofy, there's a huge audience for such games. So you're going to have a good time if you start something like that. Okay, weather systems on. Let's put that on there. TCAS. Where's our TCAS? Let's put TCAS to on here as well. But what I'll do is I'll wait before I do anything else. Okay? Yeah, I'll wait before I do anything else. Let's put our flaps down to takeoff position. Category 4. Copy that, Sean. And is expected to be a Category 4. Okay. I hope the sim really models it well, because I can't always tell whether it's modeled well or not. I hope it is, so we have a good time. Let's test our takeoff configuration there. That's normal. But my streamer friends suggest indie games. Spy Goofy, just go with what you like. So if you like FPS and shooting games, start with that and then see how it goes. Because what works for somebody else will not work for you. You have to do something that you care about, otherwise you're not going to enjoy it, neither is your viewer going to enjoy it. Alright, okay. Given that, and let's check our flight controls there. That's looking good. Gonna release the parking brake here any second. There we go. We're looking good. Everything else is looking good. What is supposed to be our panel state here? 0.7 up. That's fine. Oh my god, this annoying thing. Okay, I'm gonna bring down my cabin lights here in advance. Parking brakes released. Let me just rev it up a little bit here, or rather spool it up a little bit there. There we go. 0.7 up is what we need, huh? 0.7 up. That's good enough for 0.7? Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's pretty much it. There we go. This game looks pretty difficult. How do you remember all these buttons? Yeah, man. Flight sim is something that is not exactly like other games, you know. Depends on how seriously you want to do it. I'm just an aviation guy, you know. It's what I'm passionate about, and so it's not really hard for me to remember all this stuff. And this is Microsoft Flight Sim, which isn't the worst. There's also X-Plane, which is, in my opinion, more realistic and far harder to remember stuff. Not exactly, it's pretty much the same stuff when it comes to buttons and everything, but you know, if you're passionate about it, you know, and it's kind of my area, it's my field of study, aviation, so kind of know a little bit more than the average person about flying, so yeah. But it's not that as difficult as it looks. It's become very accessible to a lot of people these days, so you can definitely give it a shot if this is something that you are interested in. But you know, it's not as fast and exciting as the other games. You really gotta be a nerd about flying to enjoy flight sims, just saying. Sean, I shall try to be careful with the flying. In either case, I'm expecting a few crazy run-ins today. It's gonna be fun though, so let's see how it goes. Have you ever played Far Cry back in the day, man? A long time ago. A long time ago. The last time I played other games outside of Flight Sim, I can't even remember. The only other thing I play occasionally, it's just to hang out with my friend, is Fortnite. And I gotta be honest, I don't really like Fortnite. I just play it a little bit because, you know, it's nice to hang out with your friends who are from like across the globe. It's kind of, you know, it's kind of nice, and that's pretty much it. But apart from that, I don't really play anything else. Just Microsoft Flight Sim, X-Plane 12. The last time I even had another game, I can't even remember. I couldn't tell you. Okay, let's pump the brakes here. We gotta turn on some we gotta turn on some lights here. Nose light to take off, strobe light to on. We can turn that up there on as well. Let's see, everything else is pretty much looking good. Our TCAS can come on now. And TCAS should not say standby anymore. Why does it still say standby? Shouldn't say standby. Okay, there we go. Doesn't say standby anymore. Good. With that, we're pretty much ready for takeoff. It does look difficult to me, yeah. I mean, if you know nothing about aviation at all, and you don't even have a clue how things work at all, yeah, it's gonna be a steep learning curve. But you know, if you're into it, it's pretty fun. You can go anywhere in the world in Microsoft Flight Sim and X-Plane. You can go anywhere in the world, fly a huge variety of aircraft in detail, as you can tell, as I'm doing at the moment. Okay, let's look out our left side here. Everything is looking good. Some terrible texture loading in the distance for 2024. I have to mention it every time, but it's the expected at this point. There we go, we're looking good. I'm ready for getting on out of here on towards Detroit. Detroit Metro Wayne County? Yeah, I think that's where we're going. Alright, let's line up. I wish we had a good livery, but I had no idea I was even going to fly this aircraft. Right. That's good enough for now. Okay, time for takeoff, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, let's rotate. Oh, the frame rates are not looking good here. Put that gear up. Should have probably restarted the flight simulator before coming back in for another flight here. Gonna make that turn. Climbing a little too steeply, not too concerned, but yeah. Let's see. I'll come to the chats in just a second. Let's put our slats. Okay, we can do that. Maybe a little too soon for that, but I'm not really complaining there. There we go. Give it off to the autopilot. Okay, nose light to off. Wing lights off. That is just fine. Everything else is looking good here. Alright, there we go. We're leaving behind Chicago, ladies and gentlemen. Spa Goofy, you haven't played any flight game. Alright. Tried. Microsoft Flight Sim also has some career mode now, so that is, it's more beginner friendly if you're not used to flight sims. That's something. Why don't you use a webcam? I've thought about it, just haven't gotten around to getting it set up, quite frankly. I need to do my research, make sure I get something that's worth the money. Then I might as well, yeah, get a webcam. Having a webcam does help, by the way. It does help. It makes it more personable. How do you put it? It makes it more, I don't know, people like having that human element to it, you know? People like seeing a face, so it does help. I've thought about it, just haven't gotten around to it pretty much. Yeah, I got it. Don't worry, I fly a little rough. it's how I do things. Don't worry about it. Okay, we got that done. Let's put that range up there just so we have a look at how it's gonna look like. There we go. That's fine. Okay, 7,500 and climbing. Everything else is looking good. Let's put our ground spoilers to disarmed there. Besides that, I think everything else is looking good here, isn't it? Cabin lights, can leave them a little bit on there. That's perfect. 250. We head on outside for a second. There is the airport we just took off from, Chicago. We're leaving it behind. It's not looking terrible, is it? Let's turn off our landing lights here, coming up on 10,000 feet. So we can turn off our landing lights just like that. Turn off our passenger. You know what, I'm going to leave them on automatic here. There we go. Once that is done, let's go towards some cinematic views here. Let's see how that looks for us. That is gorgeous. Looking good. Why are we climbing? Are we climbing? Yeah, we're climbing. Okay. You can see the lake off to our right hand side. That's Lake Michigan, I believe. Don't have head tracking on today. It does make it a little bit more interesting. There we are. Okay, views there. Not too terrible. All right. Climbing out as usual. Everything is looking good. 310 knots there. Maintaining speed. That is all fine. We're pretty much all clear. Let me just show you guys today's route on little nav map. Just for a second here. There we go. So we've just taken off from Chicago, O'Hare, and there is Lake. Come on, isn't this Lake Michigan? Why doesn't it give me any? No, this is Lake. What? Yeah, it is Lake Michigan. There we go. It's Lake Michigan right there, and we are going to take a right, fly over the lake. And we are, so basically, by the time we come out of the lake, we're going to begin our descent down into Detroit. That is going to be Detroit, Metro Wayne County. Detroit, Metro Wayne County, right there. Okay. So that is our route for today. At least for now. So yeah, let me put that away. Have you thought about adding a bit of customization to your channel? Since you're just starting out, it can make a big difference when you're aiming to affiliate. What do you mean by customization, mate? I mean, in all honesty, so far I've done so much work to get everything to look the way it has. There's a lot of settings behind the scenes that make it look the way it has, man. You got sound settings, you got all these overlays and all that stuff that you got to plug in. You've got the game setup, which is never easy with something like Microsoft Flight Sim. Let's put that to standard. Transition altitude has been crossed. So which is never easy. Flight simming is so complicated. There's like so many softwares you got to open and operate at the same time and all of that. When compared to other gaming, I mean, right? But I don't know what exactly you mean by aiming for affiliate. Are you talking about like sponsorships and stuff? What kind of customization are you talking about exactly? Let's take a look at on this side. Nothing much going on. Let's take a look at this side. Got a very, very calm day apparently. Well, as far as the banners and stuff like that are concerned, the only thing I really have on top, that is something. The nav bar, which gives out essential information, which is important in flight simming. And then you've got your bunch of overlays that I have at the bottom that you can see on my screen. As far as emotes are concerned and all of that, to start doing that, you need to reach a certain level, man. So I need to have a certain amount of subs, I need to have a certain amount of watch hours, I need to cross certain milestones before I can unlock such features like emotes and stuff. And it's different on each platform, so you got something different for Twitch, different for YouTube, different for Kick. And not just that, on YouTube it's also different for videos and live stream as well. So you got a lot of things that go into it. No. Okay, so you were talking about the Twitch affiliate thing. Alright, if you're talking about the Twitch affiliate thing, yeah, I understand. But there isn't much else I can add in the overlays and stuff like that. Especially for the category that I'm doing for flight simming, you don't want to put too much on your stream. You kind of want it to be quite blank as much as possible. Even what I have kind of going on is like the limit You know what I mean? But yeah, I know the Twitch affiliate thing you're talking about. Yes, that is the goal. I think really putting a webcam is gonna make a huge difference. Having a webcam is gonna make a difference. So that's the one thing I am planning on adding at the bottom left corner of my stream. But apart from that, I don't want to add too much in the way of overlays and all that stuff. I don't want to do that. And the emotes are kind of have to wait. Okay, climbing up towards 30,000 feet, everything looking good. Our top of descent is right here, so it's not far away at all. It's a very short flight today. Very short flight here. I'm wondering what to do next after I reach the after Detroit. Let me have a look. If we take a look at little nav map, we're here, right? We're gonna end up here. To reach where Hurricane Erin is, we're gonna have to come somewhere here. And that's a long way up from there till there. So how are we gonna make our way down? Do we wanna go down this way? Do we wanna go towards New York or Pittsburgh? And then down all the way towards Orlando, Cuba, something like that? Or do we gonna go directly off to the east and hit New York and Boston? Because if we do that, that'll be fun. I also have a new airport installed in Boston, so it'll be cool to check out the scenery there as well. So I don't know which way to go. There. But anyhow, we are reaching our top of climb. Very nice. Spark Goofy, I actually make custom streaming assets for streamers. I've done work for quite a few channels. Would you like to see my portfolio sometime? Sure. I'd like to check it out, man. But at the moment, I'm not really looking for more in the way of overlays and stuff. But I can take a look at what you've done. I'm a designer myself as well, so I did have quite a number of stuff designed earlier on, but I decided to replace it for the current overlay on top that you see, which is very concise and it covers very little of the stream. Plus I can also get it in my colors, so that's really cool. But yeah, I'd like to check it out. Any socials? Nah, man. Like I do have a Discord, but I'm still setting it up. I'm still setting that up. I'm very inactive on Instagram. I don't even think. Am I active on Instagram? No, I'm not active on Instagram. I've got a Discord, but I'm still setting it up. I'm so new to Discord. So that's something that's still being worked on at the moment. But as soon as I get that thing up and running, which I've been saying for weeks at this point, in all honesty, in Discord, I'll be able to put a link in my description. I'll do that in Twitch, YouTube, and Kick, so you can find me there. You know what I mean? So we can do that. But let's see. Okay, let me have a look at the other side. Where do you have it on? Are you just gonna share the images of the images of your tools, or you're just going to send us a link? What do you want to do? Do this. You know what? Hold on till I get my Discord set up, and I'll put a link into that on my channel, so you'll find it on Twitch, and then you can send it on there. All right, Mr. Spa Goofy. Short Games, hello there. How you doing, man? Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. Okay, so we've got top of descent coming up in like 40 feet. I'd like to say about 60 nautical miles, so that's not too far away at all. Let's go and tune in the ILS for today, which is supposed to be 111.75 frequency, 213 degrees as the course, and all of that good stuff. So we can tune that in, a nav radio. ILS is supposed to be 111.75 today. Good load. Let's put that in there. Why doesn't that work? Huh. IJ, okay, my bad. IBZB. Let's try that. 111.75. Let's try that. What do you mean formatter? For the love of God. Let's try that again. IBZB. Okay, there we go. 161, that's the correct one. 111.75 course. We're gonna put 213. Let's find out if that's correct. It's already set here. We don't need to worry about it. Great, we've got that done. Destination data, let's take a look at that. Performance, next phase. Our QNH, what is the local QNH at Detroit today? 30.13 in that. Okay, I'm just gonna use our tablet here. Hopefully that gives me something better. Update, where is the QNH for... Why can't I find the QNH? Good Lord, where's the QNH? Why am I having such a hard time? Oh, it's 30.13. Okay. I don't know how to put that in here. I don't know if that will even accept. Oh, it does. Okay, that's great. Magnitude and wind 180-7. I'll put that in here as well. Temperature is 28 degrees Celsius in Detroit at the moment. That is fine. We're going to use full flaps there. Minimum today, I'm going to use 200 for radio. That's done. Perfect. So all we need to do here is whether or not we're going to activate that at the right time. Besides that, I don't really have anything else to do here. Cool. Cool. Great. Let's take a look at one last cinematic shot of what's going on here. And then we'll head back into the cockpit right in time for top of descent. Okay. That's beautiful. So Spy Goofy, why don't you find me on Instagram and send me some of what you do on Instagram instead? I can take a look at that. For the time being, at least. Anyway, let's head on back into the cockpit and see what's going on right here. Top of descent coming up, about 15 nautical miles, I would guess, more or less. So, yeah, we're pretty much there, ladies and gentlemen. It's not going to be long now. There we go, there's our airport. About 120 nautical miles, more or less. Come down here. Oh, God, why does this thing keep... I hate that there's some sort of click spot for it. It's right here. Ugh, it's annoying. That's quite, and the thing is, it extends right here as well. So if you press this, it pops up. That's very annoying. What is this for? What does this do? Oh, there's a light right here. All right, never mind. Cool. At top of descent, I need to set my auto brake. I always forget that. I mean, overall, it's not too terrible for an A320. I think it's better than the default one. It's better than the Latin VFR one probably as well. The Inibils A320 V2. But I doubt it's better than the Phoenix and FS Lab stuff that we've got going on, which I really want to get my hands on. I still haven't, but yeah. So yeah, it's overall not too terrible if you're trying to fly the A320, but probably not as good as the other payware stuff out there. Okay, let's go into... Got a constraint. Interesting. I have requested descent. But, okay, so the, yeah, it is. So the FMC obviously thinks we're going up to 35,000 feet here, don't we? Let's see if I can change that here to 300. I forgot to do that, didn't I? Flight plan. And now we can try. Now we can try to go to descend. Let me descend. Oh, I need to set the final altitude. Forgot to do that. Okay, I'm just gonna ask the descent to begin first of all, and let me go check what our final descent altitude is gonna be. I'm not going down to 700. Let's go down to 2,000 feet. That makes sense. Right, let's go down towards 2,000 feet, and then from there we should be able to pick up our glide slope. So let's go to 2,000 feet. There we go. Beginning our descent. Good. Let's put that to low. Everything else looking good. We've begun our descent, ladies and gentlemen. We're making our way down towards 2,000 feet, where we're expected to catch the glide slope and the localizer. The reason the game is being a little bit framey today is I restarted, meaning I started a second flight without restarting the simulator. That always gives these issues here. So yeah. We could probably switch over to 2020 after this. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna restart my simulator after this flight, just so. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Just so we make sure that the next flight is not gonna have any issues, and I don't know which aircraft to use in the next flight. Probably. What can I try? I think I'll probably go to the A330. Let's see. It depends. We've only been streaming for an hour and 40 minutes at this point, so yeah, we could go for something else. Or I could take out a business jet. You know what? That is a great idea. I could take out the Citation X instead. We could fly on down towards Orlando. That is a good idea. And a little bit of head tracking going on now, so that makes it much more immersive there. A little bit of a shake there. There we go. That looks good. Looks good. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it just looks fantastic, doesn't it? Looking good on our descent here. Everything is going according to plan at the moment. So let's come down on our range here. There we go. We can arm that. Let's go ahead and turn on our landing lights, which we should have done a while ago, but that's okay. All that is done. Good. Good. Need to drop our flaps. Oh, right at the edge of the speed there. Right on time. Looking good. I like it. I like it a lot. This thing I do with the camera is really doing it for me. I really enjoy it. That is very immersive. Let's see how this goes in terms of as far as our landing is concerned. Okay, we're about to make our final turn onto runway direction. Speeder. Oh, uh-oh. I think we'll be okay. I think we'll be okay. 210 at Wonder. And then we're going down towards 131 at Angel, kind of, I guess. I guess that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. Not entirely sure how audible I am at the moment, but I hope I am.
2,500.
2,500. Okay, activating approach. Going towards localizer. Okay, our speed has begun decreasing there. Localizer caught, going towards approach mode there. Cat 3 single. I don't know. Localize is the only thing that's been caught so far. Let's drop our flaps further. You will see them drop here. We need to drop our gear very, very soon. So let's go ahead and do that as well. Come here, drop the gear. There we go. Dropping our gear there. I really hope, yeah, I think there we go. Got the glide slope most likely. I really hope so. Let's find out. Glide slope has been caught and that is not looking good at all. Let's go down towards our max flap here. This is runway 22, right, not looking very good. We got crosswind, a little bit of it. Taxi lights on in advance. Everything else is looking okay here. Yeah, everything else is pretty much looking okay. TCAS weather system, I'm gonna turn that off.
1,000.
You know what, I'll leave it on. Predictive weather, I'll turn it on. Everything else off. Cabin, landing check, I have no idea how to do it. Cabin ready. My aircraft. Let me do that. My aircraft, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see how this goes. Sky dolly on. Okay. There we go. Got a bit of a crosswind here today. That's okay. Ooh, that's too much. There we go.
300.
300. Oh, this is a bumpy ride. We're proceeding. Good lord, that's bumpy.
100. 50. 50, 40, 30, 20. Retard. 10. 5. Retard. Retard.
Okay. Here we go. Reverse applied. Very good. Very, very good. Welcome to Detroit, Metro Wayne County. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Just gonna turn ourselves off here first. Before we do anything with the configuration and all of that, let's go ahead and take a look at our landing replay. Okay. Let's see how we did here, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. Looking good. Let's have a look. Okay, and SkyDolly has decided to work. Which is good news for us. We'll probably start playing it from here, which is right there, okay? From where the rewind is. Good. Let's have a look at how we did on our landing, ladies and gentlemen. There was quite a wobbly approach there. Why is there a building right smack there? I have no idea. But that was a great touchdown. That was a great touchdown. Yeah, that was pretty cool. Obviously the reverse thrust did work, but it doesn't show up on SkyDolly properly, but that was good. That was good. Let's have a look at a couple more other views. It was a little longer than I would like, the landing, but you know, nothing too terrible. Let us have a look. Right here. Okay. Let's have a look. If you like that landing, don't forget to leave a follow, like, subscribe, whatever it is. Press all the buttons. Greatly appreciated if you do.
100. 50. 50. 40. 30. 20. Retard. 10. 5. Retard. Retard.
Well, that was very, very smooth. That was so smooth. We've got FS realistic running, and yet it was that smooth. That is a very smooth touchdown, ladies and gentlemen. It really is a very smooth touchdown, huh? Okay, time to have a look at another view.
100.
Let's have a look at it from the cabin. From this side, let's see how it looked like. The default scenery for Detroit Metro Wayne County here is not that good, is it? There's a building at the beginning of the ILS antennas. I don't know if that's quite right. Why is there a double shadow? No idea why that's happening either. Okay. Alrighty. That is really smooth. Very, very nice. Yes, it was. To say the least, that was very, very nice. Okay. Cool. Let's try one more landing replay, shall we? Let's try another landing replay here. From the other side. Gonna start it from here pretty much. Let's try this one. Of course, the spoilers are still going down. from the landing replay, but yeah, that should be fine. Let's see how it is. Very, very nice. Very nice. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Detroit. There you go. Beautiful. Okay, now we're going to pick it up where I left it off, and yeah, let me go ahead and find ourselves a little parking. There we go. Just make sure that the rate is all good. Yeah, it is. Okay. So, landing lights off, please. Strobe lights off. That is set to taxi lights only. That off. That can come off. That is fine. That can remain on there. Let's start the APU. APU bleed can come on. I'm gonna start up the APU there. And I'm gonna release the parking brake, and let's find ourselves into a little parking somewhere. Let's find ourselves into a little parking somewhere. There we go. Good. That is fantastic. That is fantastic. Okay. Let's turn this way to our left. Let's find ourselves a little parking. Let's actually take this right-hand turn here. I have to cross the runway, but that's okay. It's a little corner for aircrafts to turn around, I suppose. Runway, I hope it's clear. I can't be too sure. This side is clear at least. I presume that it's clear on the other side as well as we barrel down towards the runway here. I'm just gonna cross it anyway. There we go. Perfect. And then, which way are we going? Let's go off to our left here. Slow down a little bit. There we go. Gonna get ourselves into any one of these gates. Okay, so let me just do that. Obviously the taxi lights and all of that stuff is messed up here because this is the default airport and it is not handcrafted. Default airports in MSFS are just terrible. So yeah. Not good. Taxi lights look good because I got the enhancement installed, but overall quite terrible in all honesty. Anyway, let me just park myself in here. God, those are some terrible... That's some terrible scenery right here, isn't it? Okay, let me just park myself in there. There we go. Much better. Okay, I'm gonna put on the parking brake right there. Gonna shut down. APU is running here, so I'm gonna shut down both the engines. There we go. Hopefully the flaps were cleaned up before I did that. Not too sure. Whoops, the flaps were not cleaned up. Forgot to clean up the flaps there, but anyway, that's okay. I'm just gonna go to panel state on APU. There you go. Just gonna load that up, and there you go. Perfect. Alright, crew oxygen supply off. Let's have the nav systems to off. We've got everything else on APU. I'm going to switch that down to ground power here. Turn that on. Go up here. Switch onto it. Switch off APU. Switch off everything. Strobe lights off, please. Beacon lights off, please. All of that off. All of that off. There we go. That's very good. We can turn those off as well. Now, why do we have them on? These off as well. There we go. That looks good. Nav on logo lights to position number 1. Alright, pretty much that's it. That's all we gotta do. We can request deboarding, but I really don't think it's gonna work. Request deboarding. Okay. Yeah, it's not gonna work. Nonetheless. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our destination. That wasn't too terrible. Really wasn't too terrible at all. Detroit, Metro Wayne County. That is where we are at the moment. That is where we are at the moment, and that was a good flight. That was a good landing in particular. Nonetheless. All right, time to head back into the menu and see where on earth I'm gonna be flying off to next, if at all. Or should I just call it a day here? If there's somebody in the chats, let me know. If there's nobody in the chats, then I think I'm gonna wind it up. Is there anybody in the chat? I think I'm gonna do more of these flying forever thingies. I really like them. I really enjoy them. They're fun. They are really fun. Anyway. Thank you so much to everybody who tuned in. I hope you guys really enjoyed today's flight because I had a good time. Thank you very much, Mr. Spy Goofy, for tuning in today. Thank you, Shorts Games. Thank you, Sean, for tuning in to today's live stream. Hope you guys enjoyed that today. But yeah, pretty cool. Detroit, Metro Wayne County. I am planning a stream where I'm gonna end up buying every airport that I land into and then flying back into it to see what it looks like. So that's gonna be a fun exercise. And then I'm gonna start a live stream series where literally gonna keep flying till there's nobody in the chat. Okay, so either 24 hours or nobody in the chat. That's what's gonna be my next idea. So since there's nobody in the chat for now, I'm gonna wind it up here. Gonna have to come up with a better title, but I'm gonna do that. So yeah, catch you guys in the next one. Hope you enjoyed it, and bye bye.